Hey guys, I'm here with Matt Stevens, director, owner, facilitator of Rally in the Valley. We have some questions we're going to go through that you guys have asked, but this is really just a time for Matt and I to chat all things Rally, past, present, and future. Um, Matt, dude, like second year in a row that I've been there. This year, just as good, different vibe. I'll say
Yeah,
that
I,
it was a
I think,
different
yeah,
vibe, but just as good.
different vibe, but just as good. Each year we want to have that different vibe type attitude, but it's all positive, right? So, um, that being said, like, dude, thanks for having me on, man. Like, I haven't really digested and regurgitated all the information that happened that weekend because I just jumped into work and then I traveled to LA, so it's still like nonstop. So I really haven't had a chance to like talk and debrief about anything. So this is
Yeah.
really the first time I've publicly been on to talk about it.
Well, I'm honored that you're here, and you know, there's so much to unpack from it. That's the thing. It's like you almost need a whole week between like rally and real life, and then we had everything going on with CrossFit, that tragedy there, and so many of us were you know on a roller coaster coming from that high of rally, and then just as athletes watching that unfold was just unbelievable. So I'm sure it's a shock to the system in many ways.
Yeah, yeah, it really was, man. And like, I can't remember where I was when that happened, but I think I was at work, and then one of my buddies, Tyler, texted me. He's like, "Dude, you need to turn this on. Like, they're missing an athlete. You can't find him." And I was like, "Oh, holy cow! Like, I'll tune in, you know." And it was crazy. So yeah, that kind of just like dampen the mood of the high that we were rolling with after rally, and we just never went back to talking about rally again, and then it just jumped into what are we going to do for 2025. So it's kind of like one of those weird kind of 2 weeks there for a while.
Yeah. So do you want to stay in that sequential order of past, present, future? You want to talk a little bit about kind
Yeah,
of like
yeah, we
what kind of
can.
what stirred up the idea of rally? Give me the history of that, and then where we're at, and yeah. So let's start there.
Yeah, man. So the history of it is like what this is going on our fourth year next year. So we're 3 years into this, and 3.5 years ago, my wife and I bought a gym, and I always wanted to do a hybrid competition, like host a hybrid competition, and nobody else was really doing it in the area. And I was like, if I can get enough people to do it, I think we should go ahead and just execute on that plan and do it. So we got 50 people to sign up year one, and it was all local people. Well, I should say like local-ish to like the southeast region, so like West Virginia, Virginia, North Carolina, and I think somebody came down from Pittsburgh. But it was kind of in this area. My idea was to have rally in the valley from like Huntington to Charleston and keep it local. And then it just so happened that like a lot of people were interested in this and wanted to come out. So year two, we jumped up from like kind of a local competition to now this regional thing, and now we're worldwide. So just within 3 years, we went from local to worldwide, and that's kind of where we're at now. So it's growing and growing, getting bigger and bigger, and trying to come up with ways to keep everybody engaged and focused on not necessarily an athletic venture, but like also in real life too. Like we want to bring real life into this competition, which I think we've done a really good job at doing.
Yeah, and in kind of coming from your roots, I know there's some. I like to use the word conflict or controversy behind. Are you going to be able to keep the everyday athletes in as the elites come from all around the world to participate in rally? Um, I know that that's a constant struggle that you have. Is how do I balance that everyday athlete who's hitting the CrossFit gym for a little bit of health and and
Yeah.
good push, and then the elites who really want to take the top three podium spots.
Yeah, dude, that was really hard for me and Emily. Emily and I talked a lot about what are we going to do for the future. And, I would love to have a roster full of 50 of the top hybrid athletes, but it doesn't go in line with our original business plan and our business model of getting everybody together, because I think that some of the sports of OCR lost that touch of camaraderie over the years. So we wanted to bring that back. And really, if you take just all elite athletes, like, yeah, cool, some of them may be friends, some of them may know each other really well, but you lose sense of that camaraderie because everybody's just there to win. And yeah, I mean, everybody's there to win, but dude, you got to think if you mix in like your everyday average Joe with a Jack Driscoll or a top elite hybrid athlete, dude, if you're in last place, you don't really care because you know you're not beating Jack. You know you're not beating these top guys. But what you can do is learn from them, integrate yourself with them, and possibly beat them at some of these events because as you guys saw last couple weeks ago, that this is anybody's game. Some of these events are anybody's game. So we
Right.
can throw a wrench into the plan, and you, as the lower tier athlete, could be up there in a podium spot for one of these events. And we're going to change the way that looks for next year too. We'll get into that, but definitely want
That's
to change the
awesome.
way that looks.
This makes me think though, and I'm not here to appease everybody watching, whether that be the everyday athlete or the elite. I just share my thoughts and my opinions freely. That's what the hybrid report will always be. Um, but I think that the high performers are often forgotten in hybrid and in obstacle course racing or whatever it is because so much emphasis is put onto that open and let's get as many people as possible, let's get as many registrations as possible that people that just want to complete it. I brought this up in homeschooling when we transitioned into public schooling with my daughter. Like all of the attention in schools today are the underperformers. They get all of the extra coaching, all of the extra study time and to get them up. And a little thing about my daughter is she went into the she went into fourth grade at a second grade reading level because she was homeschooled. We did it different. But she went into fifth grade at a seventh grade reading level because they put so much on the underperformers. That doesn't always work in athletics. Like there is just a level of realization you have to have in your life, depending on how you've treated your body for the first 40 years of it, that you're not going to come in and beat a Jack Driscoll if if that's who's competing next year. But I like that you somehow balance bringing those people into the community, not forgetting them, but you're also not blowing it out to literally anybody and everyone who wants to put the money up. Like I love that about Rally. Um, and that's got to be hard for you because there's so much people that want in and are willing to give you the money, but then you truly lose what's so special about it. So,
Yeah,
what do you have
you
to?
lose this sense of ownership and pride, right? Like we built this off of community in itself. So that being said, like if we open this up to thousands of people, like it just waters it down. So I always give the analogy of, I spent a lot of time in the Pacific Northwest and in Seattle. Like if you go to Starbucks, the original Starbucks, it's like pure, the most pure Starbucks you can get to because it's the best employees, the best everything. Because when you look at Starbucks, that's where it originated. And the further you get away from Seattle, the more that diminishes. And the quality and quality control and the people that work there are just kind of like, whatever, I mean, I'm not saying that every location, but that's kind of the trend when it first originated. So that's what we didn't want to happen. We don't want to water down the system of what we already have, but we also want to still maintain, hey, you're coming here and you're going to have to work for your placement. You're going to have to really put in the effort throughout the year to come here and do well. So we, instead of, just opening it up to invites, we just said, you know what, let's just open the floodgates and let anybody who wants to come in, and hopefully we'll get some new people because I think everybody needs to experience this at some point in their life, in their athletic career, because of the way we put this on through the community. Like you can't emulate that. And I was talking to somebody else last week about like, they were asking me like, how do we get some of those qualities of Rally? And I said, you absolutely don't, because those qualities only exist here in Hurricane, West Virginia. Like nowhere else are you going to find Meeks Mountain Trails. Nowhere else are you going to find the people that live here. Nowhere else are you going to find Shot Fire Fitness and all the members that we have that give, blood, sweat, and tears day in and day out. You're not going to find in a 5 mile square, circle radius of all the amenities that we have here. So you can't
You're
emulate
you
that.
you you are so right, Matt. Because I will tell you, the volunteers at Rally or staff. I don't know how you handled bringing who you brought on and paid and who were volunteers, but them and Warex, which is just up the road in Jackson, Ohio, right? It must be this little Appalachia area of just really amazing human beings who want to see people do well and give their all. Every single other race company that I know of that I've been to so far, I'm expanding into different things, have problems with their officials, volunteers not showing up. getting volunteers to even sign up in the first place. But when I've been to rally 2 times, I never saw an athlete uncovered, not being judged, not being taken care of, and a standard held. So, special thanks to those people, those judges, those volunteers at Rally and Warex, because you're doing it right. And it it has to be a little bit of the population that you guys live in the work ethic, but it also has to be a little bit of who Jake and John and you and Emily are as well, the people at Warex and the people at Rally that run it. It has to be a little bit. And what I've been talking to a lot of people about in this hybrid space is you're gonna have to confront the shit and become a better person if you want the better result. You just can't keep using tons of volunteers year after year. Spartan, for example, right? They're burnt out. Athletes are burnt out. Volunteers are burnt out. The staff is totally burnt out, and it's from the leadership. So while I thank the volunteers, like I got to thank you and Emily, because you do put your blood, sweat, and tears. You put your heart and soul into this, and it shows. So a lot of people are going to come to you, Matt, and they're going to want guidance. They're going to want coaching on how to make their event better. And you're just gonna have to be like, I don't know, dude. Go step up your game. Go to therapy. Handle your shit. Get
Yeah.
better at it. I don't know.
Like I've been doing this for years, man. Probably if I had to put a number on it, 8 years of running an event like this. Not necessarily like a 3-day event, but I've had my hand in a lot of different events, CrossFit, running, whatever. And this is the first time where I've had volunteers reach out to me to want to volunteer and help. Like I had people from, I mean, I'm not even talking local people. I'm talking people from San Diego, from New Jersey, to come down out of their way just to help volunteer for the weekend. Like that's unheard of. So just to be a part of it. And then I had another guy say, hey, dude, I didn't get in this year, but I would love to volunteer. And he showed up, and he showed up the entire weekend. So do you think
Dude,
that guy's
that
probably going to get a slot next year? Absolutely, because he put in the time, 100% free, didn't even ask for a T-shirt, and was like, I just want a spot for next year, and I want to help out. I want to be a part of this.
that's
So he
awesome.
put
And
the,
and I think we're gonna get that. Like I have the same thing going right now. I'm doing some transitions on my team, and we're getting new people in, and we're saying goodbye to some other people who have been here at the start of it. And but as the product develops, people really see what it's becoming and what it has been, and they want to be a part of something bigger and grander, and they see that. And so that's why I align with Rally, is because of what I've seen, and also what it was and what it is. And like your excitement today is the excitement the week before, is the excitement
oh,
all
dude,
year long.
yeah, I
Like
mean,
it.
you've got to be committed, man, and that is why commitment, dude. If you're not committed in this whole process, whether you're a volunteer, an athlete, staff, whatever, dude, media, you're not gonna be with it. You're not gonna have that full effect of getting after it day in and day out. Like, dude, rally ends, day one starts the next day. Like 2025, dude, I already have 75% of the workouts written in stone, and we're a year out. So this weekend we're 365 days out. So we still have a whole year, and we still have so much time to put so much more effort into this. That's why I think that there's a it's really hard. Somebody said it best, like, don't try to outdo yourself from the year before. And we're not. What we're doing is we're putting the effort towards the time it takes to evolve this sport and evolve this process. So that's what we're putting our time and effort into, not the workouts, but the processes that are in place. So you'll see better communication. You'll see better, video. You guys come on board. You'll see hopefully some sponsors come on board, but everything will be better from the outside looking in. And then obviously on the inside looking out, you'll see a drastic change as well. So as far as like the gimmicky workouts and all that stuff, that's kind of out. But our plan is definitely going to be huge for 2025 and so on.
I love it, and we are on board. Every conversation that you've had with me, like there's not that my opinion matters, but there's nothing that I can be against. And I'm in a place where I have to really choose what I align with and where I'm going to put my time and effort, and what companies, that I give my efforts and my teams to. But let's move on to some other topics here. The 2024 event. Let's go into the present, because that's the most present thing. Pros, cons, and favorites. I know people were kind of bummed that the paddle boarding wasn't there. People were really excited that the bikes had entered the scene.
Yeah.
Um,
There
what's
was a
that?
lot
What's that?
of, dude. So like overall, man, if you look at the grand scheme, like you and I can probably have a different perspective because we weren't actually athletes in the event, but like If you ask an athlete, you ask 10 athletes, I would say probably 80% of them would say they didn't like night one, Friday Night Lights, but then at the end of the day, all 8 of those people who said they didn't like it said they loved it because it kind of set the tone, right? So um, it's kind of hit or miss. That was kind of a con in my book, and then the other con was probably the memory test, but that was on me, 100% on me. And usually, I don't take the blame for stuff, but that's 100% on me by not asking the questions to the standard of the answers that I wanted to receive back. So that was on me for kind of screwing that up. But you live and learn, and that's one thing. It was a small piece of a great weekend, so it wasn't even anything like physically that we messed up. But I think that was a con on our end, the athletes' end. And then I think pros, dude, there was a ton of pros, man. The trail run obviously always is a big hit. The mountain bike in the final was a big hit. And Wet Karen was also a big hit because it got people out of their element. They got people swimming who normally don't swim, and it got people trying to do unbroken wall balls who normally would train, 50 to 60 wall balls at a time. Now they're trying to hit 125, 130 wall balls at a time. So I think there was a lot of pros. Um, so yeah, I mean it's all over the board. From a media perspective, what do you guys think?
We loved it all. The challenging time, the time out on field, like keeping things moving and things that wore out my guys. Like, to be honest, like everybody was beat by the end. Everybody was taking naps. I'm driving 2-3 hours home, whatever it was, and everybody else is just like out. Um, but the events to watch, uh, it's hard for Brian, myself, to cover a whole trail run. I mean, we got some really good footage. We got some good photographs. Um, but the stuff that really stretches out, that was great of Emily to take us out to the halfway point. So we kind of got to get the start, the
Yeah,
middle, and the end. I think that's the best that we're going to be able to do. I'm not interested in grabbing a team of rabbits and running along
no, not for
the
this. In the
yeah.
grand
There's
scheme of
not
this event, like that's just one little small piece of the entire event. Now, if this was all we're doing, sure, but
yeah
I
yeah yeah.
think that,
But
yeah,
everything was really, I think everything was really compact. Other than that, which we really liked. Next year we're going to have a plan. We'll have a shot list and actually execute like exactly how it's supposed to be and get all the shots we need. But we really were just throwing shit to the wall this year and seeing what stuck and what was good, and playing with the athletes and different compositions and lighting. It was good though. Like the in the athletic side of it, um, every single one of us like kind of wanted in, kind of wanted to
yeah,
participate, and that was what I think like is special by rally is like it will find a lot of people's breaking points, but everybody kind of wants in to do that. Like where DECA, it's everybody starts, everybody finishes, right? Just take it your pace, this, that, the other. But this is like, wow, like I remember talking to you last year and like, does Lauren Weeks have a wall? Can you find her? Well, unfortunately, didn't get to find out this year either, but different circumstances. It's just like, what's next? What's going to break somebody? And, I would say mountain biking definitely broke Jack, and luckily the schedule was that was at the end because,
yeah,
um, but that
yeah.
was definitely
Everybody
his
at the
his limit.
time, yeah, at the time, everybody thought Jack was just trying to sandbag it, and because he had it in the books, no matter what, like no matter how he placed on both those workouts, he was going to win. So people are like, oh, he's just sandbagging it. No, he's legit. Does not mountain bike and was pretty
No,
bad at it. So like we found Jack's weakness. I'll just throw more mountain biking in next year to kind of break him down. But in all seriousness, like that, yeah, he was legit. Like, dude, I'm dead seriously. I'm going as fast as I possibly am
well,
comfortable with right now. So
there you go. Put mountain biking first, and then we have to watch Jack climb out of a hole the whole weekend. He can't
yeah,
sandbag anything.
yeah, dude. Well, next year. So yeah, we'll talk about next year. But dude, going back to like you and Brian. So there's always this kind of misconstrued thing about like videographers and photographers and how it's really hard to mix both of them together in a small venue like that. But I think from a race director's perspective, like you guys did a great job working together and talking it through and him getting great photos and you getting the same shot as he's getting the same photo. I mean, it's crazy, man, how you guys work so well together. So I just want to applaud you guys on that
Thanks,
media
man.
aspect.
Yeah, and that is kind of the theme I've seen where people are stepping on each other's toes, and it didn't happen. And I think it was just really that. well, first of all, like neither him or I are a beta male, so it's like when you have a sigma or alpha mentality together, it's kind of special when you bro it out instead of like compete, right? Like let's do something awesome for these athletes, and we had that like immediate conversation, and I think that just addressing it, like, hey, I'm here to like do this. This is my lane. This is your lane. Let's just do this great thing for Matt and these athletes. And I've had several conversations with him since. The last conversation was over an hour and a half on the phone with him, and it's like
Yeah.
we want to step up each other's games and our own game, and like, yeah, that's how it should be, honestly. Like, but we confronted like right away if we had any issues, like we were just open about it, and it was squashed and like moving on, and like there was no weird like carrying it into the next event. It was just like, oh yeah, man, let me get out of your way. Like it was just like respect.
Yeah.
And I think that that might be a word down the road that you use as one of your yearly things. It's just respect. Like that's such a powerful word, and when you actually just respect like the process, you respect each other, you respect each other's space. I don't know, but anyways, I digress on that. You you've been working some things for me, but like to really help us, and I appreciate that. You have in the podcast outline something I'm super interested in, and it involves the word camp. Do we want to go into that yet?
Yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. We can. So I was kind of hoping that I'm blaming Sarah and Ryan for this, but I was hoping to get some more information from them regarding location for our rally camp for next year. So, um, first time that this goes public is right now, obviously, and then when this gets published, but, we're going to open up a Geiger fitness camp rally inspired. So, don't have an official name for it yet, and the details are still being worked out, but it's either going to be in Flagstaff, Arizona, or Colorado
Mm.
Springs, Colorado. So, dude, if you flip a coin, I could care less with either event. Like, I love Colorado Springs and I love Flagstaff. I did a lot of work out in Flagstaff back in the day, and between Sedona, Flagstaff, and like Williams, dude, I love that whole entire area. So there's a lot of good places to train, but I'm going to leave that up to them because they have all the details, uh, for venue locations. But yes, we're going to have a 3 to 4 day camp, and it's going to be solely focused on hybrid fitness and how to make yourself better as an athlete. That's going to be from the ground up. So building that good foundation and building a good mental block, and then working on those physical attributes and then your weaknesses as well. So I know Sarah and Ryan do a great job with their athletes already. And I mean, if you look at the space right now, dude, they had probably 10 athletes at Rally, and they're going to have another 10 going at the HybridCon game. So they are very well versed in the hybrid space right now. So I think with this camp, dude, it'll fill up so quickly because not only do you have that camaraderie, but you're also learning, and you're building your knowledge base, but you're also learning about yourself as a person. So I think this camp's going to be awesome. I'm going to be there. Emily's going to we're both going to try to be there, but with work schedules, and her being so busy, we don't know. But this is going to be sometime in June of 2025. So right before Rally, and then we'll build kind of like an internal taper for you to work towards for Rally. So June, you'll kind of have like be at your peak, work through it July, and then taper down through August, and then you'll be at Rally, hopefully the best shape of your life. So that's kind of the
Man,
idea and the goal behind it.
I really hope that there's a media need for this, because I think that would be
Yeah.
just
There
as
is.
awesome.
So,
So
bro, I'm gonna tell you this, man. I don't want to divulge into too many details because I don't want to steal so much thunder from Ryan and Sarah. But there's some details that are going into this camp that, if you sign up, you definitely don't want to miss out on. So, we're working with some great brands that'll hopefully bring their presence and make this be a huge thing. So,
yeah, luckily I have I'm on a good foot with both of them as well. So as long as I can maintain these relationships of the people I like, I think I might have an invite. So we'll work on that.
yeah, yeah. We'll work the details out, but yeah, it's gonna be expensive. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be pretty expensive. But you're also paying for, you're getting, room and board. You're getting, so lodging's covered, food's covered, coaching's covered, all your
I I
rental
I,
stuff is covered.
I would really expect it to cost more than Rally, because you're getting
It's
poured
it's
into and you're not pouring out. Like you're
it's
you're you're getting
significantly
built.
more. And here's the deal, man. Like, I don't want to. I'm gonna be upfront with the price. It's $1,300. And at $1,300, I need 12 people to sign up to break even. So, like,
Yep.
I'm not making money off this. It's not a money making venture. It's to get people together and make people better. So if you want to pour, Like, dude, LeBron James, I think I read he spends over like $2 million a year on his body, like on himself, so to make himself better. So like that's you're just investing in your health if you're paying for this. So $1,300, dude, will get you everything you need. You just got to get there, and then everything's taken care of once you're there.
Dude, I love that. And so I'm gonna go off on this tangent real fast because I think it needs to be said. Rally is great. It is great. Like, don't let me what I'm about to say anything against Rally. But dude, the bar is set so low in hybrid with the major brands. The bar is so low that it just takes somebody who's willing to show up and do a good job to be great. Like it really, really does. We were paying, I'm gonna pick on Deca and High Rocks. We're paying over $600 a month in my household for CrossFit membership, coaching, nutrition, great coaches, amazing coaches. Corinna is doing nutrition in my household. There's there's great things being poured into this household, but it's expensive, and that's before we even get in the car or on the plane to go shave off what 6 seconds from a deca. You improve
Yeah.
your and like you're putting together such a like just a full weekend experience. And I don't know what your price is this year, but what is it, three or four times a
It's
deca?
it's 375. But
So
dude, you got to
so
think like even
so
that's cheap.
two decas, right? And so let me put this into perspective. 30 minutes deca, two of those an hour, three of those, 90 minutes of your day. I ran one heat at 32 minutes this past week with a partner, but you got people in there running four or five events on a deca weekend. Partner, two pairs, and a ruck. Like literally, people are spending.
And to top that off, I heard they're making you volunteer too. So now not only do you have to pay out of pocket, now you have to put your time back into it in order to get your
Yes.
ticket.
So while you and Emily are doing a great job, Rally's great, dude. The bar is so fucking low in this sport. Like literally, like I think the future is what you and Ryan and Sarah and like what these little pockets to grow. Like I would rather have 20 rally style events a year than go to deca after deca after deca after deca.
Yeah.
And the money is really not the concern ever. I want people to know that. Like whether if you're complaining about the money, it's because you're not getting the value. And literally, Matt, you deliver the value over a weekend. So nobody should ever complain about the cost when you're getting so much for the dollar. When you look at
Oh
somebody
yeah,
else who,
dude. Like
you know,
I was worried about that last year. We kept it pretty cheap. I mean, I lost money last year. Let's just be honest. So $150 a pop. So I was like, dude, I want to be able to give more back to the athletes because we're not hitting the mark somewhere. We're not doing
right,
something to get grab the attention of these sponsors to get the money to pour back into the athletes. So like, if we raise our ticket prices, we can take some of that money, internalize it, push it back to the athletes, and give them more of a pool. So we're hoping that somebody, it just takes one person to bite on and latch on and look at what we're doing and say, dude, here you go. Here's the money. Dude, we need to get these athletes taken care of. We need to get you taken care of. We need to get the media guys taken care of. That it just takes one person. And I think I'm very, very close in talking to that one person. And I don't want to spill my beans yet because you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket, but I'm pretty
right.
dang close in making something very special happen. And I'm like a week away, and hopefully, in the next couple months we can announce that. But sponsorships, man, that's what we need, and every dollar matters to get. And I
You
don't
and
take
you've
it.
had some
I
good.
put it back into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you've had some. You had Air Force this year.
Air Force, yeah, Special Warfare came in. They always do. Special Warfare has always helped me. I mean, hell, I even joke and say they found my wife for me. So, I mean, they've done so much for me in the past, and they continue to always be there and support no matter what I do. Like, there's one point of contact I always contact. She says, "Yeah, anything you need, man, I got you," because I've helped them so many times throughout the years, and given back. So,
In the city of Hurricane and the Park District, those are big
dude,
players.
huge thank yous to those guys. That venue would have cost us 5 grand, and they
Yeah.
gave it to us the whole weekend. So we're going to utilize that next year. Now, if this other partnership pans out that I was just talking about, then we may have to shift, but it'll be well worth it if we have to shift. Let me tell you. So, but no, if in all reality, dude, if we're in Putnam County, like Putnam County, the CVB there is totally on board to help us out and bring people into the city. I think it's great, man. Doing good things all around just to boost up the economy.
I I loved I loved the volunteers, and I think that said more about the community. Like, I'm not a big corporate guy, so organizations and stuff are cool, but it's not until you meet the people behind the organization, like the names of the organizations. Thank you so much. Like, I really appreciate all that you did for Rally this year. But it was really was it Brandon?
Brandon Dorner, yeah.
Yeah, Brandon. Just getting a little bit of interaction, and the interaction he had with my family, and like he's like, hey, this is a really good shot up here. You want to come up here? Like, just like I'm
Yeah,
like that kind of, and I mean, like every athlete I think that we got that shot on used it, like they posted it. So
yeah,
thank you, Brandon, like for giving us this shot that people were stoked about. I don't know, like I just felt like, today I had a very special phone call with a friend, Nicole. I'll name drop her, from up in Canada, and she goes, Shan, I think you're really misunderstood because there's a lot of conflict about you. And I'm like, well, let me clear the air, and I'll clear the air here right now. I care a lot. Like, that's really what it is. I care a shit ton about people. I care about the athletes. I care about you and Emily's success in the event. I care, but it's also to the point of I don't think avoiding criticism is going to help anybody, right? Even
yeah.
myself. Like, I've only grown by friends sliding into my DMs and saying, "Hey, that message wasn't the clearest. Could you clear that up? Could you, that's not what I think you're trying to say." So, but Brandon, your community out there, um, it's amazing, dude. Like what you've built, and I think going into 2025, as we take this conversation into the future, you have a foundation built in 3 years that people would beg for in 10. Like Spartan has none of this, and they've been
Yeah,
around
that's what I'm
for.
saying, dude. You can't emulate this, what we have here. You can't, like, it's not happening anywhere else. So that's why when I moved here, I realized it. I noticed it right away, and I looked at Emily. I can show you next time you're out here. I can show you the spot where I stopped and said, "We're gonna have a huge event out here one day." And we had nothing out there, dude. I'll send you pictures after this call. Maybe you can post them up here as we're talking about this. Dude, we had pop-up tents and Little Caesars Pizza sponsor the event. And we had runners running 5K, 10K I think we had a 15K that year. Dude, with a pop-up tent, that was our venue. We didn't have porta potties. Like, bro, that's where we started. And now we're getting these magnificent venues, and we have multiple porta potties now. So we've definitely come a long way in the past 4 years. But um, yeah, dude, it's crazy, man. I love it, and I breathe it, I live it, and it's a passion of mine, man. I think about it all the time, like not in a negative context, but like, dude, it's on my mind all the time, and I think that's what this event needs is somebody to be living and breathing it and making it come
Totally.
alive.
And a lot of these athletes and you, we and myself, we all have our full-time jobs, and this is a passion project for all of us. So it's
Oh
really
yeah,
it's awesome. It's an awesome experience when your passion breaks into profit. And this is I think by December I'm going to be there, like from future events. Like I think it's going to happen. um but let's go into the future while we're future focused. Kara and Dylan gave me two questions I want to ask. And then there was a question that you kept getting in repeat. I'll ask that one.
okay.
Um, so Dylan asked, can you keep 80% of the workouts as complete surprise come race day?
Dude, so my original thought, and you can ask Emily this, I wanted to do the whole entire thing like unknown, right? Like you just show up here ready to go with whatever, barbell, sandbags, running, like you know what you have to do. And I think I'm almost to the point where these athletes trust me enough to realize the weights of these barbell movements aren't going to be significant to where everybody can do it, right? Like everybody can at least get one power clean at the weights we had this year. So it's going to separate those athletes who are training and stronger than the others. But like, dude, trust me, hear me out. Like, I think in 2026, just show up. The
Yeah.
workouts will be there. Trust me. I
Well,
trust the process,
what
right?
what about just using icons, no words? Like you just
Yeah.
know this
So, I
this
mean,
this is
I
a
kind of,
this is a swimming event, this is a bike event, but
yeah.
not telling people how far, how much, what to
If you think about
expect.
it, if you think about it, I kind of did that this year. Nobody knew what Friday Night Lights was consisting
Sure.
of. They just knew it was sandbag. Like I didn't say anything about a bike, an echo bike.
Yep.
Like we covered all that stuff up. So like next year, the trail run is going to be much different than what we've seen in the past. The swim event is going to be much different than what we've seen in the past. So yeah, there are still going to be elements of surprise. It's just not everything's going to be a surprise. So like I'll tell you the weights. You guys already know the hinge pin weights, the deadlift weights. So, but I will always say at least what the weights are and the
So
movements. But
speaking of weight, the second part of that question was also 200-pound sandbag question
yes,
mark.
so I have a call with GoRuck on September 11th. And I'm asking them to build me some heavier sandbags.
Okay.
So I realize that the 100 pounders, even for myself, like I'm getting to be kind of used to the 100 pounders and I'm starting to throw them around real easily. Like this morning, I threw around a couple like pretty easily. So like, yeah, I personally need some, and then Rally definitely needs some heavier sandbags for both men and women. So that is coming.
Awesome. The second one is from Kara, and I want to take her question further into a concept I want to share with you, and whether you involve it or not, my feelings won't be hurt. Her question is possibility of a partners division in the future. Now, before
I
you
have an answer for
before
this. I have an
before
answer for this.
before you answer, this is the idea that I was hashing out last night, Taco
Yep.
Tuesday. Get a margarita in me, and I am brilliant, bro. Like I'm the smartest dude ever. One margarita. Take the partners, and you could either show up without a partner, do the whole weekend, be done by 12 on Sunday, and then have a partners division. Now people can come just compete for the partners division, but it brings all of the people from outside that want to compete in the partners division, gives them a place to do it. And then people who competed all weekend could also partner up and compete at 12 o'clock on Sunday. Then you
Yeah.
have the award ceremony right after. But if you think about how you build a workout for partners, and it moves so much faster, you carry so much more weight. There's so much more you could do with a partner. It wouldn't be a very long event. Like it
Yeah.
would not. So,
I like the
anyways,
construct of that, but like here's my it's like a three-part answer, right? I'll give you the first part. My first initial thought was no, and here's why, and you'll respect this. So if I put in another event, I want Rally to be like to set the standard, set the bar. If I turn my focus anywhere else, it's going to diminish what Rally has become for an individual competition. Now, you say, well, just Matt, you should hire somebody else to do and take on the other stuff. No, because that also, my ideas, I feel like they're not the best, right? Everybody has their own opinion, but like if I give that to somebody else, it's not going to be close to what Rally is because I've built Rally single-handedly for the past 4 years and made it to be what it is with Emily's help. And you know what I'm saying? But like workout wise and like structure I've done. So like if I give that to somebody else, it's going to look very different. So if you're expecting a Rally type event for a partner division, you're not going to get that if I hire somebody else out. And then if I take it and implement that, I might take away aspects of some other Rally events. Now, the third part is I have thought about maybe making a small weekend event for partners or whatever and doing like 2 or 3 people per team. But again, it's like the fourth part to that is like we want to put emphasis on this camp. So going back to the
yeah,
camp idea, like we're going to do that instead of putting our main focus on another competition. So that's kind of where I stand with that. And it goes back to my Starbucks analogy is like, dude, we want to just focus on this one thing and make it fucking great. We don't want it to be okay. We want it to be fucking great. And I think if we
absolutely.
started throwing other things into it, it does that. And also, what's this? The sixth part of this answer, Thieves and Beggars has a great fucking same thing foundation. They built it and they're doing great things up in Jersey. Those guys do an excellent job. So Rachel Lotz and then people they fucking kill it up there. So like, I don't want to take anything away from their partner hybrid competition they've got up there.
And
So we
and
kind of
and
work together.
truth be told, like I'm starting to salivate on covering those smaller events. And so if you have connections, I would rather put my eggs in your guys' baskets, the small organizations, than the High Rocks and the Deco. And that might have
Yeah.
burnt a bridge. That might have burnt a bridge. But like, dude, I'm walking around with gas cans, so I don't really care.
Yeah.
Um,
Now I will
like
tell you this. I will make this public. So I'm thinking about doing a small internal gym CrossFit competition, which is partner based in the fall this year. So just kind of like a 1 day, really easy, 3 or 4 workouts, 25 people, a couple teams, whatever. So if you're interested and you're in the area, might as well come on down because it's always a good time. But that's the extent of like our partner stuff, and I hate to give Kara negative context about that, but it is what it is, man. I want to put all my shit, all my effort and focus into Rally to make it the fucking best.
So my question to you: if somebody came up with an idea that kept Rally pure as it is, involved partners, and didn't take away from anything else from the weekend, you'd be open to it. But that's where you're at. You're not gonna
It really depends on who it is and what their intentions are, man. I've had a lot of people come to me with ideas and we're like, but I want X, Y, and Z. It's like, dude, if you're my bro and you're my boy and we can make this work, like, but if they're just trying to get their name out there and trying to take trying to take internalized Rally as their own, like, that's not cool. Right. You know what I mean? So that's I've ran into that. They just want such a big piece of it that they're like Jason Feinstein, or Feinstein. That guy doesn't want anything to do with anything else. He's just like, I'm here to help you and grow this thing. And dude, if he were to say, hey, I want to try to do this, cool. Like that kind of guy is like, that's where I'm at. But it is what it is.
Awesome.
Like somebody who doesn't know me at all, like that's who I'm talking about. Like some guy that I've never even met is like, hey dude, I want to do this. And I'm like, I don't know you, man. Like what, anyways.
Right. What's your gain out of it?
Yeah.
So we kind of talked on this throughout the whole call, but the conversation keeps coming up, only open to elite athletes. And I know it's a conception. A lot of people actually DM'd me and said, I thought it was invite only. Like,
dude, we sold out in 46 seconds. So it may be like we're invite only. 46 seconds sold out, $375 a pop. Boom, gone. Like it was done. So it's open to anybody, man. Like open to anybody. We got a wait list. I encourage you guys to put your name on the wait list. You've got to put your card information in, but I won't put you on the list until I physically talk to you on the phone and be like, hey, dude, are you good to go? Like yes or no, financially, whatever.
So let's hash that one out. So you go on the wait list. Some people were dropping on you last minute and not giving the wait list an opportunity to come compete, right?
Yeah.
So what is the cutoff that you have to come or you lose your money if you sign up right now?
February 14th. February 14th is going to be our it's 6 months out, right? So February 14th will give people 6 months to change their plans. But February 14th, no more refunds to who signed up right now. And then if you drop after that, sorry, it is what it is, and we will take the next roll. We'll roll down that list.
Dude,
from there on out.
I think that's super generous of you, especially compared to the other guys, because
yeah.
They don't refund and they'll divert it to another race or another year. But you could change your whole concept and the price could be twice as much, so you can't even divert it to the following year. But I think it's generous to. You have till February to figure your life out. Like,
yeah, dude. I mean, I understand. Like, shit happens. Like people, there's lives change. Like fucking Dylan's having twin babies and shit. Like that happens, dude. So like, if that happens, dude, yeah, I'll no problem. Like, you have until February. That's 6 months from now, and then we have 6 months to figure everybody else out. Because, dude, I should send a picture of all the bags of the people who didn't show. No knock against them. Some of them had great excuses, like Dylan, dude. He had babies the day before. Like that makes sense.
I think I actually have a photo and a video of that, but I didn't go spoiling anybody's,
and it's like,
birthday.
Other people would hit me up, and as a race director, it's frustrating, dude, because on like a Wednesday night, when Rally starts on Friday, on a Wednesday night, they'd be, hey man, I'm just not like, my training's not there. I'm not going to show up. It's like, bro, I've spent X amount of dollars trying to get it, bending over backwards to get names on t-shirts, to get you placards. Everything else has come in. It's ready. Like, it's just garbage. Like, I could have put that money on something else had you have told me, like, even a week earlier, bro. Like,
right.
Damn, it's frustrating, man. And I don't knock those people, but at the same time, it's like, you're not welcome back here. And I hate to say that, but I mentally have a note from the past 3 years of people who pulled out within the last, like, 36 hours of the event.
Bro, consideration is everything right now, and inclusion and involvement. Like, I just had, my world was rocked over the last 24 hours. Like, somebody clearly knew exactly what my plans for phase 2 were, did something very similar to what I'm wanting to do, and didn't even consider or include me in, like, the rollout of it. And I was just like, shit. And I got to see a lot of screenshots and how it actually came out. Already the matches were lit though, so like that's just who I am. I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah,
man.
dude.
Just like,
it's life,
hey,
man.
just like you had your Matt Litch with me on the text message exchange we had, but we
Yeah,
you and I
dude.
are human, and we're passionate, we're on fire. Like, give me some grace. Like, it pissed me off a little
Yeah.
bit, right? Like,
Yeah, that's how it should be. If I don't get pissed off about something, am I that if I don't care about something, do I really care? You know what I mean? Like, if it fires me up inside, I care about it.
well, somebody said, like, no, I want to hear what you have to say. I'm just not into the drama like you, Shannon. I'm like, drama? Like, I feel like you don't even care at all when I bring stuff to the attention. Like, you have no emotion to wanting to fix it. It's just like blank face. Like, we have to stay positive. We have to stay up and up. No, you don't. No, you
Nah,
don't. Just
man.
like I'm not ever expecting, Matt, for you to be bubbly and positive to me. I'm never going to get better by that positive reinforcement constantly. Like, hey, Shan, you and Brian fucked up. You shouldn't have said that to him. Blah blah blah. Like, address it. If it would have happened, dude, that's your event. Like, I would expect
Yeah,
that kind of talk. So, all right, the elites coming back, keeping it open. Let's just finish on. It's not invite only. You got to get in. You
yeah.
got to
You
be
got
on
to
the
get in,
wait
and that's
list.
that's the beauty of this competition, man. You can be an everyday average Joe and compete with like a Carly Wopat or Lauren Weeks, whoever. Put whatever name you want in there. Like you can merge together. And I don't know if hopefully this doesn't disconnect us, but I want to read this message real quick. You still got me?
Yeah,
I'm
for
pulling
now.
up my. I'm okay. Hopefully this is
Hop
good.
back on
So
if you go away.
yeah. I'm still on. Can you still see the video?
I cannot. No.
Okay, good, good. So I don't want you to see my face making weird faces. All right, I'm gonna read two things. Actually, I'll read this other one first. So I got a message sent to me this morning, and basically, I'm going to try to sum this up because it's kind of long, but it goes, life has a way of presenting us with unexpected opportunities that leave a lasting impact. For me, Rallying the Valley is one of those pivotal experiences that changed my life for the better. This event, which combined the thrill of competition with the breathtaking beauty of Meeks Mountain Trails in West Virginia, pushed me beyond my limits and helped me discover my new strengths within myself. When I first heard about Rallying the Valley, I was intrigued but uncertain. The idea of challenging myself on rugged terrain was both exciting and intimidating. However, as someone who thrives on physical challenges and embraces the unknown, I knew this was an opportunity I couldn't pass up. Little did I know the experience would be so much more than just a test of endurance and skill. It would become a turning point in my life and my journey of self-discovery. Meeks Mountain Trails, with its lush forests, rolling hills, and serene landscapes, provided the perfect backdrop for a transformative event. The trails were not just a physical challenge, they were a mental and emotional journey as well. Each step, whether uphill or downhill, was a reminder of the strength and resilience I possessed. The natural beauty of the area was both humbling and inspiring, allowing me to connect with nature in a way I hadn't before. The trails became sanctuary where I could clear my mind, focus on the present moment, and push through any doubts or fears. Participating in Rallying the Valley required months of preparation, both physical and mentally. As I trained, I realized that this event was not just about the race itself, but about the journey leading up to it. The dedication, discipline, perseverance I cultivated during my training spilled over into all areas of my life. I found myself approaching challenges with a newfound confidence, knowing that if I could take the demanding terrain of Meeks Mountain, I could handle anything thrown my way. And the last part was the camaraderie among participants was another unexpected gift from out in the valley. I met individuals from all walks of life, each with their own story and reason for being there. We encouraged each other, shared tips, and celebrated victories, both big and small. The sense of community and shared purpose was palpable, and it reminded me of the power of collective effort and support. That right there, like, is a long way to sum up kind of like our business model and what we strive to portray in every athlete. Like that was moving for me to hear, and also for this athlete to experience that and go through that. And that's only one of many, many, many. Dude, over the past 2 years, I could probably give you 15 to 18 stories on changing people's lives. We had one individual say, I was thinking about killing myself, and I was in a deep, dark hole. I came to Rally. It changed my life, and I don't have those thoughts anymore because of this event. Like that was moving for us to hear. And the moment that they said Rallying the Valley changed their life to make them more positive, like that was huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
Well, I one that was beautiful, and the person who did you say you didn't say who said that, right?
I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna
Yeah,
keep
yeah,
it private.
yeah. So that was beautiful and very thoughtful, and I mean a lot of intention went into those words. That was like nearly poetic,
Yeah.
like like amazing. Um, I actually when you read that, I'm sitting here listening and I'm like reliving my two rally events, and uh, like the reason I care so much, several reasons, but it's the connection I make with Scott and now Kevin Foltz, and these guys, they were not the top three podium athletes, right? But I also have gotten to chat with Jack Driscoll, and like when he saw me, like this is the second year in a row he saw me pulling in to Philly Deca, and just like both years have been right after rally, right?
Yeah.
And like yeah, Jack's nice to everybody, but there's like literally a bro moment where it's like, what up, rally, bro? Like
Yeah.
hey, I
I
just
remember
saw
that
you.
from
Like
last year. Like you were posting and hashtagging rally or tagging us rally in the valley, bro. Rally in the valley, sister. It's
yeah,
like,
for
dude, everywhere you go, you run into
yeah,
somebody.
it's really, it's very grounding for us. One, the day I started this, I had people who wanted to fan fanboy me, the brand. You have it too. You have a lot of
Oh
people
yeah.
who praise and do all of this stuff, but they're doing it for their own clout. They're doing it for these different things, and these messages and those friendships and the lives change is, for me, I'm not going to speak for you. It keeps me centered and it keeps my ego in check and it keeps me on the right purpose for sure, because I know what I bring to the table. I know the vision that I have for the hybrid report. I know what rally is, and I get your level of protection too, and wanting to keep it pure and keep it focused on what you're doing. Dude, every day, bro, I get asked, be nice or I can't support you anymore. Every day I get a message. And I'm like, bye, bye. Like,
Yeah.
I will continue to ask the hard questions, to deliver the answers that there, because there's an itch. These athletes have an itch. They've been mistreated by many, many, many brands for years. Years they've been mistreated and given table scraps of experience, of winnings, of time on pay, all of that. Dude, the reason I'm so on board with you and talking to Austin is because I know the quality that you guys expect of yourselves, like of yourself. And that is so paramount to do that level, but not as a flex of how great you are, but because people deserve that goodness. They deserve that
Yeah,
goodness.
we do
And
it for the athletes, man. This is not about me, you, or anybody else. We do it all for the athletes. And Emily's like behind the scenes working at making sure that we stay focused on the athletes first because, as she saw Spartan kind of like go downhill, she's like, I don't ever want that to happen to Rally or the gym. So she's like making sure that we not cater to the athletes, but like make sure they're well taken care of and they feel
right.
loved, man. I'm going to
I'm
read
gonna
one more.
yeah, go
Let me
ahead.
just read one
Well,
more and go ahead.
while you bring that up, I'm going to say that you and I have had rumbles and disagreements, dude. But I think honestly, us focused together on that purpose is what keeps us moving
Oh yeah.
and collaborating, and like that
Yeah.
trust is there between us because we know, like without a shadow of a doubt, we know who we're showing up for, and we show up for each other because we know each other showing up for the people we care about. So I'll end it with
Yeah.
that. But let's hear this next one.
This one's tough to read, man. This one's tough to read, so I'll try to get through it.
Oh
But
gosh, I don't have
yeah, dude.
anything. I don't have any tissues. So it'll just be in my beard. Go ahead.
She goes, where to begin? I'll keep it short. 2014 started a 10-year medical journey full of surgeries, labs, every 3 months, monitors, changes in eating and life. Prior to 2014, I was on track to go back to CrossFit regionals in the Southeast as an individual. My fitness career was beginning and my military career was thriving. 2014 changed everything. I'll spare the medical details, but needless to say, my fitness journey took a hard turn. I had no idea the mental and emotional stress these 10 years would put me through. Physically, I knew I could handle it. Yes, I participated in CrossFit, Spartan, High Rocks, DECA in these 10 years, but I never really felt like I've never really felt me in those events. I felt like I was a lesser version of me. Let's see. Liquid Death event started that process of me coming back. And Liquid Death, for you guys that don't remember, is event number 1 on Friday Night Lights. I had expectations going to rally other than having fun, the same as always, but the energy of the athletes and the story Brandon told us about Meeks and the sophomore struck a chord I hadn't felt in a while. I started seeing glimpses me, of me that I was before my medical stuff. Saturday on the trails, when I was the last one, but I hit a PR for trail running, that's when I came back. I can't begin to tell you how it happened or what it feels like other than free. I'm so grateful for Rally, and it will always hold a special place in my heart. Meeks Mountain Trails will be the place I got to see me again for the first time in 10 years.
Yeah, dude, that's it. That's the vibe, and personalities are going to clash. There's going to be upsets. There's going to be challenges to events and standards in every sport. There's going to be equipment malfunctions or people have to change. But like, if you can deliver that product where people get to come and experience and live a life that they're proud of and to see their hard work pay off for the
Yeah,
year,
dude, it's not about
I'm
this competition, man. It's about living life, real life, and
look. I'm
dude,
gonna take a I'm gonna take a public stance right now on this on Rally next year and the camp that this is the smartest thing, and I'll give a caveat to you. I would say allow every single person who you may have mentally written off that kind of burnt you over the first 3 years of this great competition. Allow a door to open for the wait list. Tell them to come back in. Give everybody a second a second chance for this. But if I were an athlete that was interested at all in 25 at all, I would join the wait list. I would book a ticket to that camp and I would be ready for Rally because you don't know who's not going to show up. You don't. And I would say show Matt the commitment of you showing up even if you don't have your registration done. Get the wait list, sign up for the camp, change your life this year so that it's great that people have changed their life at Rally, but I really think that could happen anywhere with the dedication to
yeah,
something
dude,
like Rally. Like
yeah,
like it's not special to be there that weekend. Start changing your life now. It's a year away. What can you do in a year to your life?
yeah. This reminds me of one more story. Is Jack Olson, dude, calls me on a Wednesday night, and I was like, sorry, dude, I'm not taking. And this is where I kind of butt heads with you because you're like, we can fill these slots, and I said, dude, it's too late. Like, I don't. It's going to take away from the athlete experience if we just add random people in here. And so I give this guy a call, and he's like, bro, I'll come out. I'm committed. I said, where do you live? I live outside of LA. I'm like, you do realize that this is Friday night and this is Wednesday and you're just now thinking of this. First time you've heard of this event. Jack Olson fucking, what did he do? He got on a plane, he showed up, and he put out 100% effort. Didn't place
Dude, the whole
top 8.
weekend.
Dude, fucking the whole weekend, dude. And that's the type of individual that I would love to have on last minute, bring him on. And like, that was the perfect, I went on a limb. Usually I don't do this, but you vouched for him and said, hey, this guy's going to show up, put out. And I
Yeah.
said, okay. And dude, he did, man. He came out, and that's the type of guy. And you can do that throughout the year, right? Show a little bit of commitment. I'll recognize that, and you'll get in, man.
For sure, and special shout out to him. He has made so many friends at Rally that are lifelong. Like guaranteed, I know these friendships that he made are lifelong. They've already been messaging me, thanking me for bringing Jack Olson on board to knowing about Rally. He didn't know about it until all of those drop offs
Yeah,
started. And I was like, bro. And then him and I were walking into the first athlete briefing, and I gave him a heads up. I said, you're coming in here. There's two things that are going to happen. You're going to surprise the hell out of a lot of people, or you're going to learn some disciplines of fitness that you've never tapped into, and you're going to go home with a hunger of improvement like you've never had. Come to find out, both happened. Both of those two things
yeah,
happened.
dude.
He
It happens,
he
man.
he surprised everybody, like just I mean, what a great stand-up guy, and Kevin Foltz and Scott and Logan and like so many great guys I've had made friends with out of Rally. There's great women too. I didn't spend a lot of time with the women. It was really just
Yeah,
bro
a
reunited.
bro sesh.
Yeah. So, dude, like literally, this is the move for every athlete watching to the end of this podcast. Get on the wait list, or if you're already in, both of you sign up for the camp. Like, I don't know how many spots are you
Yeah.
having in the
Well,
camp?
we're 12
Ish.
right now just to break even. So I mean, I'm not like I said, I'm not trying to make money. So if we get more than 12, make a little bit of money, throw it back into rally, whatever. But 12,
Not everybody,
12 plus.
not everybody's gonna have that kind of dinero. But if you got the money and you want to invest in yourself, stay tuned. Watch the rally page. We'll post it to our page,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
link to sign up. Um, I want to be there, media. I want my family to be there. Maybe participation, maybe media mix. We'll see. I'm not missing out on rally, dude. Like,
Anything rally based. Yeah, dude. We didn't. We're at an hour just right now, just in like cross the hour mark. I don't know if you want to dwindle this down because you lose
that's it, man.
viewership,
That's
but
all I got
or
to. That,
I was gonna say we could talk about some little surprise sprinkles for 2025, or we could save that for a different time. It's up to you.
that's your call, man. I've got about 15 more minutes.
All right, I'll say this: swim, run, shoot,
Swim,
swim,
run,
run,
shoot.
shoot, swim, run, shoot.
Okay.
Little sprinkle of wonders out there.
I'm
Swim, run,
I'm not
shoot.
I'm not even going to listen. I'm not even going to tell people to watch till the end. It's only for those people who stuck it out and watched the
There you
whole
go. Yeah.
video.
Yep. Don't tell
And
them
we'll
to
see.
fast forward to an hour.
Yeah, we'll see who stuck it out. And we'll see if the chatter starts to happen. Only
Yeah,
mention it
and
here. Don't let it out
we'll
anywhere else.
say
We'll see.
I won't. We'll say for the trail run, be sure you can run for 4 hours.
Mm.
Be sure you can run for 4 hours.
Okay, swim, run, shoot in 4 hour runs.
Yep. People wanted more endurance. I'm giving it to them.
That's awesome.
Yeah. When we get off this
No,
call,
no,
I'll tell you what I mean by that.
sure,
Both of
but
us.
I do want to say that I voted yes, keep it, and a lot of people said to me that they love the row and throw. I think it's a great
Oh
staple.
yeah, yeah. I think I've been
I
coerced
it
into bringing that back. We have to, right? Like we've got to bring that back, dude.
you
And
got I think I yeah.
paddleboarding
So
will be back too.
I think paddleboarding needs to come back, but I think like row and throw can be altered weight wise. It can be changed something,
Yeah.
but I think row and throw should always just be kind of that inner thread. That there's the I don't know.
It's measurable, dude. It's a measurable
Yes,
piece that you can do year in, year out and get better or worse. And you kind of know where your fitness level is based on that workout after a run. So
I love it.
it's one of
I
those
love it.
things, man.
Well, hey, I committed to get this podcast up within 24 hours, so I'm gonna do that as soon as we get off this call. I'm gonna render this video and
All right.
get some clips up. But dude, I
Sounds good,
appreciate
man.
you so much, and I can't wait for the conversations that we're having right now via text message with the other competition and so much
Yeah.
good stuff happening, bro. So
Oh,
much
yeah.
stuff.
For sure, buddy. Appreciate your time, man.
Hey, thanks. I'll give you a call here in a second.
All right. See
Bye.
ya.